Baby's back.
Hello.
Hey guys. Hello. How is everybody tonight? Welcome back. Welcome again to Wednesdays Live. We got a lot of stuff to go through. Obviously, we want to get through the intros first before we get into it. As always, join us here on Wednesdays. And as well as you can always join us interactively on the Discord to our Auto Activism Discord. And then every Friday nights at 9 o'clock, you can come join us. But till then, welcome to Wednesday. How is everybody doing tonight? How you doing, Deana?
I'm great. It's been
Excellent.
a busy week. It's always busy, I guess. It's always busy.
It is. It's been a kind of a weird, busy week. It's not, I don't know, for me, I don't know if it's been the same for you. It hasn't really been sort of, I could point my finger to busy, but it has been busy. Kind of feel to it. You know what I mean? It's you're just constantly running. You don't know what you're running for, but that's what you're doing.
Well, I ran to work because I totally forgot my computer at work.
That's true.
I'm so glad I checked. I was trying to set up. I'm in the spare room right now. Well, the spare room. It was Camilla's room. I'm converting it into another room. I have some people who've moved in. That's why it's been busy. It was very last minute. So.
Well, it's a lot. I mean, arrangements, clearing out space, getting stuff ready for them to come in. That's not easy.
No. And there's so many busy weekends. Like this weekend is going to be busy. We're going to do spring cleanup and community barbecue at one of my housing co-ops. And then the next day is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody, by the way. We're not going to see each other until then. So
that's true. Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there.
And to your
absolutely. Moms. Exactly. To you and to your mothers for sure. I know we have a fair amount of people who follow us that are mothers themselves. Mm-hmm. As you know, well, we're not young ourselves. So let's get started into all the activity.
Somebody wrote bikini body.
Yes. Well, there was actually, it kind of relates back to this particular thing. Apparently, this one I didn't quite catch up on. So you can actually tell us about this whole bikini body thing.
We're all rocking our bikini body. Oh yeah. So I put up a post. It was a memory actually, and it was perfect timing. Because I don't know, people think that fat shaming is going to affect me. I'm way past that. So yeah. So then this memory comes up, and it's how to have a bikini body. Put a bikini on your body. If you have a human-shaped body, wear whatever the fuck you want. And so,
it's true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. If you feel you want to wear a bikini, by all means. I choose not to wear one. Probably because I wouldn't feel as comfortable in it. I don't think anybody wants to see it. Particularly the thong. I don't think anybody wants to see me in a thong ever. I don't want to see it. My wife doesn't want to see it. So that's just a horrible idea to her. So that's never going to happen.
Well, if you want to, the point is if it makes you feel good, then you wear it.
By all means.
That's it. Yeah.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with it, with you wearing it. There's nothing wrong with you not wanting to wear it.
Yeah.
Whatever feels good. Go with that.
Exactly.
So from bikini bodies, we get into this week's stuff. So we don't have too many different things, but we do have some pretty big and significant ones. The first one is actually one of the heavier ones we want to start off with. And I'll start off with the specifics of it, and then we're going to get into it because to me, I feel this is a bit of a significant one. So we start off with New Brunswick. The Higgs government in New Brunswick has now officially stated they're going to be rethinking their policy.
Sorry? You have the Peterborough picture up.
I shouldn't. No, this is New Brunswick, is it not?
Nope. It's the Peterborough Public Library.
What do we see now?
Deana and Joe space.
And now?
Peterborough Public Library.
That's weird.
Somebody's saying, no way a thong is comfy. I mean, if it's too small on you, it's not going to be comfy.
Okay, you're the only one seeing Peterborough. Everybody else is seeing New Brunswick.
Really? I'm seeing Save Canada and Groom, the Cookie Lady poster. That's fine. Then keep on going. Hopefully I'll
Okay.
see hopefully then I'll be able to see the videos properly. Go ahead.
Okay. If not, you might have to reload.
Oh, you know what? I'm looking at my phone too. And yes, it is New Brunswick. So let me look at my phone at the same time. Okay.
The truth was in front of her and she did not see it. Okay.
No, I'm staring right at our screen.
I know. Yeah. And to those watching, and I will defend Deana on this one, sometimes our screens do lie. We do have a slightly different view as what you guys see. I won't get into the technicals. I might do something in regards to explaining the technicals on it, but the point is sometimes our screens lie to us and we don't see what you guys see, which is fine. As long as we know what you guys are seeing, we can work with that. Exactly. So, so the image that Deana can't see is the CBC article title in regards to New Brunswick is now reviewing their policy in regards to gender identity, gender expression, education within the school. So Education Minister Bill Hogan, under the Higgs government, is right now working on distancing themselves from that particular legislation. Now, I don't have the information in regards to me, but I believe it's the previous government that started this and had it set into law. And since a couple of people were loud voices in New Brunswick, they've caused the government to be able to sort of back up and say, nope, we're now going to be reviewing and reevaluating gender identity and gender expression within the education course. To me, and this is going to be something they're going to be reviewing. This is something called Policy 713. If you guys want to go take a look at it, if you're in Brunswick, definitely get involved in this one. If you know people in New Brunswick, let them know this is what's going on right now. In particular, some of the stuff I wanted to bring up was this section in particular. Policy 713 is part of what's right now being reviewed. And these are some of the important things that's in there. So, all schools will have a designated member of the school environment to act as an advocate for schools who identify as LGBTQ+ and their families. Number 2, the school principals and school personnel will support the establishment of a gender sexuality alliance and will support any events and activities organized by the group. Number 3 is significant, as so many people have talked about. Gender sexual alliance membership does not require parental consent, and privacy and confidentiality will be respected. Number 3 is the one that hit me the most, particularly because I recall the speech from Phoebe Chiwan, which I know I mangled the name, so I apologize, Phoebe. In particular, because that was the point when they mentioned and expressed that
they were safe at school.
Yeah.
From their parents. Yeah.
So this is a huge, huge thing that was brought out to them. That was brought out to the schools, and they were going to be building up on this to build this safe environment, both for education, for information, for exchange, and in many cases, and also what we might see as a tertiary thing, a lot of these kids would see as a primary thing, as Phoebe kind of expressed. This was their first safe space that they were able to be who they are, explore who they are, and go from there. Having this reviewed and being taken away, even though it's not fully implemented yet, this might be the hope that could help certain kids that's now going to be taken away.
It's just like it baffles me. So 100% full stop. This is about people who do not want trans people to exist. That is what it's about. They're trying to take away these safe spaces from young trans people and trans people, period. They can't seem to get their story straight on what it is, because the story is they don't want them to exist. So the more you press these people, I had an opportunity. I didn't want to take this opportunity. I decided to jump on a Spaces just to listen because it was a stupid title. And they brought up trans drag queens and trans kids. And at one point, they started saying that it's ridiculous about parents pushing their kids to become trans. No parent wishes that their child was trans. They know they are accepting and want to support their child, but having a child and having a child that has a disability, you're heartbroken, not because you love your child any less. You're heartbroken because you know the struggles that your child is going to go through. You love your child so much. Finding out that your child now is identifying and feels better as identifying as what they weren't assigned at birth as, is heartbreaking, not because you're disappointed about your child being somebody else or any of those things. It's because you know that your child is going to have a very, very difficult life. And so this law that they're passing or reviewing or all of that stuff is absolute garbage. Gender identity is protected in the Human Rights Code. Children should feel safe somewhere. And if you take this away from them and they're not safe at home, because we all know how religion will play a part or culture will play a part in harming anybody, right? I don't know if it's a Chinese culture thing with Phoebe. It could be a strict Muslim or strict Christian household. And so, taking this away from children to just be who they are when they go to school is absolutely ridiculous. The one other, and I don't know, is this just about schools? This
is the policy of the 1.3 is just about the schools and about their education system. Education in regards to gender identity and gender expression within school, the school board.
Are they talking about bathrooms in this? I know it's going to be next if it's not on here. Like, it's obviously it's they're taking little steps at a time to get somewhere. And I
don't disagree. From what I can see right now, nothing yet. But yeah, I'm throwing in the word yet.
They, one of the things they say is, because I brought up the fact that about them being able to use the bathroom that matches the gender they identify with.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get the question, are you talking about pre-op or post-op? And I said, well, why? You can have a child who identified as a different gender than they were assigned at birth, at 4 years old, and now they're 12 years old, and the entire time in their school, they have identified as the gender of, the opposite gender, have been using the bathroom that they identify with. But you guys want to stop them from having surgery. So now you're saying they can't have surgery, so that means they can't use the bathroom of their, it doesn't make any sense. They're putting roadblocks everywhere. So which is it? This child has been identifying for however long as a boy. Let's use the boy as an example, using the boy's washroom. But this boy is not post-op. So now and then it came up because they're like, back in my day, trans people didn't come out and say, I'm trans. Yeah, they didn't. And they don't want to. But because now you guys are imposing on their rights, they have to come out and share their experience. And they have to out themselves to everybody to say, don't take this away from me. Don't take this away from anybody else who is like me. You people who are putting all of this on them are the ones who are forcing them to now have to speak up and speak out. Like, it's just such
Yeah,
hypocrisy.
it is. I mean, it's dating, I think, ourselves a little bit here. We've both kind of watched a ability. I mean, even before us, we, as you know, Martin Boyce's experience was able to show us. They, Martin Boyce at Stonewall started with pretty much zero ability, and now have gone a fair amount. But even still, when we were young, we were able to see like no ability, no freedom, and no rights. And we saw, we've seen transgenders get they have more rights and respect. We've seen, LGBTQ. We've seen marriage. We've seen LGBTQ marriage being now respected and hell, even recently, well, not recently, but but between 5 and 10 years ago, Canadian Constitution amended to include gender identity and gender expression. They're all like, well, we didn't see this back in the day. Well, it's because they weren't fucking allowed.
No kidding.
Nobody was fucking
That's
allowed
what
to.
they want again, right?
Yeah,
That's what they're
exactly.
looking for. They want to shove everybody back into the closet.
It is. And they're trying to undo and rewind and undo all this the progress that was done. And I'm like, that's great. But guess what? The progress doesn't affect you. Never did. It makes you feel uncomfortable. Boo-hoo. Fuck your feelings.
Go fucking stay home and don't look out the window. Like, whatever it is, close the curtains. Do whatever it is that you need to do to make yourself feel safe without imposing it on other people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And if you don't like hearing about it, stop trying to take away their fucking rights.
Right. On this, and
they have to fucking fight for.
Here's the thing that drives me bonkers, and I'm so glad because I kept getting asked to come listen to these spaces because there's people in the gay community who don't like the trans, like what's going on. And so finally, because I happened to be on this, I had a gentleman who was gay. He identified as gay to me, and he said, "What do you think about if you knew that I'm gay and I don't agree with the trans agenda right now?" I think is the sort of to the effect of, that's what he said. And I said to him, well, like, what would you say if a gay person didn't like the trans agenda? Something to the effect of. I said, well, I would think the same way as a straight person having a problem with gay people. Oh, wait a minute now. You're saying that a gay person, and I stopped him and I said, listen, you are hating on a minority. You are hating on a marginalized group. So you are a problem to me. You being gay gives you no more authority over the trans issues than anybody else. Just because you're part of the larger community, it doesn't mean that you get to determine whether this is an okay thing or not. No, you don't. And so you, of all people, should know the struggles that you had to go through, and the amount of push that had to happen to forward the movement. It wasn't, just Stonewall riots that pushed the movement. It was really out there people who were willing to put themselves very much out there and make a lot of noise and do a lot of things to to push it forward. And there were other people who weren't as loud, who worked on certain like legislation. It's the same. Activism is a spectrum as well, has many layers to it. It involves many different people doing many different things. But yeah, don't come to me telling me you're gay, so then you get determined. Furthermore, and we're going to get into this later, but we're not just fighting for trans rights. 100% we're fighting damn hard for trans rights. But these people aren't stopping at trans issues, and we know this.
You're absolutely right, and it's
Human rights are human rights.
human rights are human rights, and I don't want to separate them in regards to saying one is more important than the other one. No, that's not true, and that's never going to be a stance that we're going to take.
Yeah.
We are going to sort of highlight sort of trans rights and drag rights right now because they're the ones being attacked. So they're the ones right now currently being highlighted because drag story times are the ones being targeted. Drag shows are also being targeted in an ancillary way. But the point is very, very true that what Dana's saying is it's all under attack. It's just which ones they're attacking first. And it's clear, and we're seeing right now the different moves they're making. We're seeing, drag shows were there. We're seeing the trans show, the trans bathroom stuff was there. And recently we've seen a couple other sort of slow movements, like the LGBTQ plus in total needs to be concerned in total. Not just the trans community, not just the drag community, not just any specific. They're going for all of it.
Well, 100%. And me as a woman and my bodily autonomy when it comes to whether or not I get to choose my health care, it's not for the government or for anybody else to determine whether or not I should get an abortion or not. You have no idea, and nor should you. We don't need to have a checklist on whether or not we qualify to get the health care that we need for abortion or whatever else it is. And if I want to get a breast enlargement or a breast reduction or, any of those things, it's none of anybody's business. It really isn't.
Some of those will always be protected by guys.
What's that? What's going to be protected by guys?
Breast enlargement.
Oh, well, but that's the thing. So they're finding people who are easy in their minds to hate on because people just don't understand. And they're using the same verbiage as they did with the gay community. It's a mental illness. Like we went over this. It's a mental illness. They're pedophiles. They're groomers. All it's scripted. It is the exact same script that we have seen. And it's not even new material, but somehow it's sort of working. And I don't know. It's working for the older generations.
Yeah.
It's not quite working for the younger generations. In the States, holy crap, the rise up that's going on in there is just so beautiful to watch with the Gen Z. Holy crap. I can't wait for the next election, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
In this States.
We do need to see. Yeah. We do need to see more Z up here.
Yeah, we do.
But I just got triggered a little bit in regards to something you said, which was in regards to women's body autonomy. You're right. They're kind of going for everything. In fact, going on tomorrow. So tomorrow, Thursday, May 11th at noon, 2 marches are going on. The March for Life, which is the pro-life march going on. And the Defend Choice, Rally for Choice, which is the pro-choice rally going on. And that's tomorrow on May 11th at noon at the Human Rights Monument at 220 Elgin.
Sorry, can you say that again? Where are the March for Life? They're going to be on the Hill.
March for Life is going to be at the Hill. March for Choice is going to be at the Human Rights.
All right.
I have the feeling they're going to collide at some point.
Well, they need to.
Yeah. You're going to be there, aren't you?
I am so busy at work, but it just might happen that I shut the office down and my staff member and I are there. It all depends. It's it's up in the air because I just took on another contract and it's so busy there. But I am working on Saturday there. So it is possible that because I can trade in hours for doing extra hours somewhere else, and we'll see. Yeah. We will see. So just, have your phones or devices close around noon because I just might spontaneously go live from the Hill or the War Memorial. I
Quite
don't know.
possibly. So yeah, so I mean that's going to be happening, and it's, again, it kind of illustrates the whole point of.
I'm not
it
going to dance. I'm not
It
going to
might
belly
happen.
dance at this one.
No. No.
Maybe. Actually, why don't I draw? No, I won't do that. That's terrible. That is like, no, I'm not doing it.
No. I do have some other pranks I'm getting ready for, by the way. You and I are going to be talking about this.
I like pranks.
I know you do. That's why I'm like, yeah, you and I are going to be talking. You're going to love this one. But anyways, as somebody else mentioned there, Dacey's going to be there tomorrow, but I want to talk about Dacey. I do. So, as it turns out, Dacey and Christine got a chance to meet Justin Trudeau.
Oh, God.
Let's see how it went, and we'll discuss this after.
You are a weakling. You and I are the same age.
Mr. Trudeau,
Trust my
I saw that you posted about the importance of independent media and of media. Yet you kicked Alexa Lavoie out of your conference the other day. You kicked...
You should have to register as a sex offender. You are a sex offender. You should have to register as one.
Just running out of breath.
That's enough. That's enough. Excuse me.
Stop my path.
Excuse me.
Get stop my
Get out
Stop
of
my
here.
path.
Excuse me. Are we being detained? Are we being detained? And if so,
Am I
why?
detained? Get your
Am I
hands
being
off me.
detained?
Get
Am
your
I
hands
being
off me.
detained, sir?
Fine,
Am
fine.
I being detained? Holy jumping. You fucking cowards. Fucking cowards. He says that yelling in public is obstruction. That is a damn right lie. It is a lie. And the police cannot be the disturbed. The police cannot be disturbed. You damn well know that. You can identify yourself, sir. There's his plate. There's his car number. Here's his partner. Can you identify yourselves? Who are you? From what, the sidewalk? I am in public on a sidewalk, and I have every right to be here. Are you going to identify yourself?
Identify yourself now.
Are you going to identify yourself?
What is
Or
your name?
what?
You have to
Or
tell me.
what?
You put your hands on me.
This man assaulted this woman.
I'm allowed
You
to
are
do
assaulting
this.
people.
Come on.
You are
Your
assaulting
name.
people.
Find
Are you
your
OPS? Are you OPS? Who are you? If you're OPS, open up. We need an actual police officer here, please. Fucking guys with the carbines here. We have RCMP assaulting citizens in the street. You got a van full of fucking carbine rifles. We got this guy puts hands on a woman.
You can't be the complainant. Come on. Who's complaining? You can't be the complainant.
You know damn well you
Unless
can't be
it's
the complainant.
policing policy,
I'm not going
you
anywhere.
can't be the complainant.
I am not going anywhere.
Move away.
I'm not moving.
Trudeau, they can't either.
I am not moving.
Public servants can't be the
This is a
complainant.
goddamn sidewalk,
I
good
work
sir.
in policing policy.
Take a lawyer. I will be getting a lawyer, and he'll be contacting you. We need to identify you so we can serve you with notice.
Did you want to start?
Well, the funny part. I mean, they're ridiculous. They're up. There's more.
The funny
there was
part?
More videos. Yeah,
Here's like, the
there's more
funny part,
footage.
that was the entire
It's all
footage.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then it was before. But anyway, no. There was more because she's like yelling.
Oh, yeah, there
across
was.
the
I trended
street
to-
at people. Yeah.
There's
I'm just
12
saying-
minutes. I'm like, we don't need to
Right.
torture everybody with that.
But the last 5 minutes, they yell the word fuck. Like, I don't know, maybe you'd probably count about 37 times. And what's funny to me is that all they keep talking about is how I'm yelling swear words out in the street, and that it's totally horrible that I'm doing that, and they're
Well,
totally doing that. So
I can grab the video and I can do another edit for you. In which
with
case, I just
swear
make a
words.
fuck counter.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all I
yeah.
do. Is just make a fuck counter for you, and I
And
can
the
just
difference is, like, dude is walking away. He's not standing there. Like, whatever. I mean, protest if you want to protest, but there comes a point where you've said your piece. Like, they think it's going to go viral, that they've done something. Like, honestly, they think that they have achieved something and that it's going to go viral. That's what it is. And then they stuck it to the man, they stuck it to the cop. And it was like just gibberish what they were saying. Like, it wasn't even anything about policy. Like, you're yelling that he's a sexual predator, or he's sexually assaulted or abused somebody. You can't yell that shit unless, you know, you have evidence. Like, you can't tell somebody that they're a sexual abuser. I mean, I guess you probably can, but it's just, all of it was ridiculous. I don't know. It's just the same old shit. And then they yell at people for doing the same shit that they do. So
it is. So you're absolutely right. It absolutely is in regards to it's the same thing. So I mean, a couple of things I wanted to bring up from that. So
wait, she sounds like, who do you think she sounds like?
Like a screaming banshee. Who do I think she sounds like?
She started sounding
Mimi?
Because all they know is how to masturbate.
honestly, when I was listening to it at one point, I'm like, holy shit, you fast forwarded through it. But if you guys watch the full video at the beginning, they are all starting to sound the same. They're all starting.
Well, it's the same crazy that's starting to kick in there. That's absolutely true. It's the same crazy that starts to kick in. But I mean, a couple of things I wanted to bring up. That first of all, I did the fast forwarding, but I threw in the timer on the bottom just to give you an idea, because I mean they're following like Justin Trudeau in regards to the entire way, and it's for like 3.5+ minutes. And the officers like stopping them because there's a couple of things that, you know, I think about when that first of all, they're yelling and screaming and harassing this guy. So I mean, yes, he's the prime minister, but he's still a person and whatnot, and still whatnot. For 3.5 minutes of yelling and screaming, just absolute crazy nonsense bullshit. Period. It is just bullshit, especially at the end there when we hear like, you should be on a sex offender. Why? Do you have a crime that he's actually committed to warrant him to be on a sex offender list? A list that only exists in the United States because Canada's legal system works on a different way, where it's not a sex offenders list. It's a completely different structure and system altogether. No, then maybe you shouldn't be talking. Second,
it was dangerous.
Second, it was dangerous. I mean, because the entire RCMP's contingency that's there is there to protect the prime minister. That's their assignment, is to protect the prime minister. So this is the secret service of the prime minister. So, you know, if you want to Americanize it,
the leader of our country.
Absolutely, the leader of our country, our prime minister,
person in charge of our country. You can't
absolutely
just have crazy fucking people.
And so the two things I saw there, aside from one, harassing a person for over 3.5 minutes, two, you're causing a security issue, whether you realize this or not. And more than likely, I'm going to go with the latter, because you're not showing me the brightness. So they're hollering and hootering, and I don't care how well trained as a security officer you are, which I do not discredit them. I'm sure the ones that are protecting the prime minister are more than trained and well trained. Yeah. But you have 2 or 3 people just hollering and hootering and just constantly on there that they're forced to pay attention to them, that they cannot pay attention to other threats. At this point, it's just a security risk for them. Like, we can't recognize anything else that could be of a danger to the Prime Minister because we're too busy focusing on idiots behind us. If anything, those idiots, for all they know, could be the distraction for something that's actually going to be occurring. 100%. They don't realize they could be, helping this out. And thirdly, there is so much entitlement to be able to get that close to the Prime Minister of Canada and yelling and screaming and saying about how much your rights are being violated
as you're
doing this, and you've not been taken down, you've not been taken out, nothing's occurred to you. Like, holy shit, how blind to entitlement are you for this to have occurred?
What country do you think you can get away with that in? What country? Name countries.
Yeah.
Name countries that you think you'd be able to chase down for 12 minutes or whatever it is. Yeah. The leader of the country yelling and screaming. Out of
go
breath,
to the States,
sounding like a fucking lunatic. You're out of breath. You're like, it was.
They should go to the States and do that with Biden. See how well that works.
Even the governors do it with DeSantis.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Whoever. It doesn't even have to be the leader of the country. Do it with any of the governors. Pull that shit, or senators, or whatever.
So
see how that goes.
You're absolutely right. And I mean, it truly is something where there is so much entitlement for them to be able to do this. And it again, this kind of full circles back to additional points in regards to there is entitlement these guys don't recognize they have. And they're upset that they don't have more.
Yeah.
100%. I should be able to go up to them and yell and scream into his face nonstop.
This is why he's not going to come out and talk to you, fucking psychos. Who wants to come and talk to you? You don't want to talk. You just want to freaking It's not about talking. There's no talking.
So, I did have some informants who did talk to the RCMP security detail, who have now been
same informants as Jason Lafaci has, or
mine are even better. They're even more fictitious.
Okay.
And they've done some analysis and they've talked to them and understood. And after doing some research in regards to the people trying to go to Justin Trudeau and everything else, they've now formulated a new plan in regards to how these public outings are going to go with Trudeau, and a better way to make sure to keep these threats away. And it's just very, very simple. All this is put them all on a horse. The minute the horse comes out, Dacey, gone.
Out of there. Scared.
Gone. Telling you, right there. Trudeau and his posse on the horse. No more. I'll be tweeting that one out a little bit later for you guys. But yeah, I'm telling you, that's going to be the new security policy.
You think that triggers him?
Oh, absolutely. Right there. And if you can have a whole chorus of them, perfect.
Oh.
It's just. Yeah.
I think that's why he can't be friends with Chris Sky. I don't think they could ever be friends. I think he wants to try to be friends, but it'd be too scary. So.
True. Do you think he gets into the room and he has to stay on the other side of the room when he sees Chris? Like, they have to be on opposite rooms, sides of the rooms?
You'll just see him fidgety and twitchy and stuff. He'll just be like...
It's true. I agree. But yeah. If you're going to fuck with...
fly.
Exactly. If you're going to fuck with Prime Minister or just basically a world leader's security to yell and scream and not expect some shit to go down or just not be listened to, Just a fucking idiot.
It's very funny. Like maybe the horse is triggering like Ram Ranch. Do they have horses at Ram Ranch? Must have horses at Ram Ranch.
Well, I don't know if they have horses at Ram Ranch, but I know it's not the primary mode of transportation. That's not what people are riding down there. Oh my. Oh my indeed. So the next thing coming up is obviously the main event.
Yeah.
And that is Peterborough.
Peterborough.
So big thank you again to our friend, the Cookie Lady, for this graphic. I was rushing to get it, and I can always rely on her. If you're not following her, by all means, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Follow the Cookie Lady. And that is me, the Cookie Lady. Is her Twitter
That's her
handle. I'm not
Joe.
me. I'm not the Cookie Lady. She is far better skilled at that than I am in regards to documenting there. But yeah, Twitter handle is me, the Cookie Lady, by all means. Anyways, moving on. So Peterborough had the event this weekend. Unfortunately, I was not able to join. Deana did surprise, I'm sure, a few. And as I've heard, I might have been missed. But before we get to that, little recap video in regards to Deana's adventures in there.
I'm pretty sure I took science further than that clown did. Look at him. Woo!
Support the science, folks.
Yeah, support the science. We agree. Trust the science, loser. We agree.
Let boys and girls play at the park.
Yes, they do play at the park. Who's stopping them?
Subject them to growing men that have fetishes to become females.
What about women who dress up as males? Do you have a problem with that? Yeah, there are. Well, look at the grown man standing outside yelling like a loser. Look at you. Look at you. Yeah, who's sick?
The cross is on my stomach. God will reign.
God doesn't
You say you trust this isn't God's word. This isn't God's word.
trust the science. What part of science shows that God is real? Which part? Which science class is that?
Men can't have babies. I learned that in school.
Well,
Okay,
who's talking about that? Who's talking about that? Who's talking about that? Yeah, why do you care about people having babies?
stop grooming
Why do
these
you care about people having babies?
kids. Grooming these kids.
Loser.
Let kids be kids.
And yet you support the church.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like...
So you like child molesters though, right?
What's that?
You like child molesters, the church.
Yeah. Here we go. I know we got better stats than you do. Even the Pope said it was rampant in the church.
Dude, bubbles are so cool.
We're asking a question.
Well, I don't need to answer your
Why are
question.
you accusing of things you don't even know?
I can
how to
say
define?
whatever I want. You're a fucking Nazi. You're hanging out with Nazis.
But you don't even know how to define it. So why are you accusing
I
us
didn't.
of something
that-
you don't even understand?
I totally understand, and I do know how to
What is it?
define it. Just because you think you're going to sit here and question me, Ben. Thanks, Ben. Sea lining Ben. What does Nazi mean?
Hi, Deana. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Yes, isn't it? Isn't it though? Nazi. Why are you stepping in? Why are you stepping in? Why are you stepping in? Eh? Why are you stepping in? Why are you pushing in? There's no horses here today. Now what? Now what? No horses. Beat it, buddy.
I don't know anyone that's won against the 2,000 pound horse. That's pretty
Oh, he's met you. You think it's gonna happen? Don't pushing me. Don't pushing me. Don't fucking pushing me. You're pushing me, and I'm gonna fucking break you.
Let him go.
Nope. My feet are
She
planted.
will.
Jolie, I think Deana likes you.
Yeah. This guy with this, you just commented on how somebody else dresses? I'm pretty fucking sure you don't get to comment on how people look. Pretty sure. Because if they stood on a scale, it wouldn't move anywhere. Feathers! Feathers! Feathers!
Prove to me. Because the Bible says it.
Prove the Bible's true.
Who else created the universe?
Prove that's
The
true.
University of Texas.
Prove it is true.
In 1981, the University of Texas did a study, right? They took every prophecy in the Bible that has ever come true and they made it into a statistic.
Republicans did
Give it
that.
to me right now.
That if you covered the entire state of Texas 23 feet deep in a silver dollar and marked $1 with an X, a blindfolded man reaching in and pulling out that coin. That's the statistics of every prophecy in the Bible that has come true.
That sounds like the most crazy made up shit.
You made the claim. You've got to provide.
Oh, you fascists bound to lose, 'cause parents choose. You fascists bound to lose. Oh, you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose. As parents can do and choose. Wash it out. It's not dyed. Anyway, I'm not Christian, dude.
Mother Earth without meat.
I don't pretend to be something I'm not. Like you guys do. I'll pretend. Look at this fucking bullshit. That guy. Look at his face. What a fucking idiot. You guys saw that, right? You fucking saw that. That was hilarious. Okay, so we're walking away from the noise. We are almost at the parking. And Camilla and I are going to get back home, and I've got to prepare my house. So, thanks a lot for joining us today. And, oh, you want to go eat? Yeah. We're going for lunch then. We're going to stay in Peterborough for a little bit longer. Anyways, talk to you guys later. Bye. You want to say bye? Bye. Where are you? There you are. Bye.
Yeah, they got a little Camilla in there.
Yep.
I'm assuming the lunch was at the usual place.
Oh, it was so good.
It always is good there.
And I ordered the vegetarian Benedict. Oh, Lord. It was so good. Nothing like having breakfast, but a salad with your breakfast. I don't know. Like, it's just, so good.
Yeah, I don't want to mention too much of place because in case, other people are also watching that may not be as friendly. But the people of Peterborough, they know where we went for lunch because we went there many times, and you obviously went there again. It's a fantastic place.
It's amazing.
Exactly.
And I was able to sit on the patio this time because every time we went, it was cold, right?
Well, it's true. It was winter. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
And so amazing. It was great. It was a really great day. Camilla and I had lots of fun. But somebody said I sounded like Dacey when I told you're pushing me. Except for Dacey never says, if you push me, I'll break you. So
yeah, and there's to be honest, I mean, for you to sound like you lack the whiny sound to it, and I mean the whiny sound to it best summed up in
warning.
That's my flag.
Like you don't have that whiny sound like that's my flag.
Warning, you're pushing into me, bud. You're pushing into me, bud. You push into me again, I'm gonna break you. Like
it's true.
3 warnings.
Absolutely. I mean, and so for the ones that who are familiar with the area, it is the only place we go, and that's the only clue we give you. It is the only place we go.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about that whole rally, or whatever you want to call their stupid ass bullshit, and they're all like melding together because they just all decided. But you heard the guy start talking about men having babies. This is where they start to mesh all of their bullshit bigotry and zealotness and all that other stuff. I know that's not a word. And so, like, that's why I was like, who's even talking about babies? Who's talking about men having babies or anything? Like, we're here, you're talking, like, what is it? What's your issue here? What's the problem? Why are you here today? It's
the propaganda kind of like gets parroted, fired off. And the problem is that it kind of gets sit in the same pool, which is a very small brain pan. And it turns into a kind of a weird kind of reactionary sort of thing where it's like they'll start off with a couple of points that kind of match what we're discussing, but the minute we start to go a little bit more into it, then they start what looks like whataboutism, but it's just parroting whatever they've been told.
Well, I
is
think
the thing to be
they
afraid
get
of.
stuck because we've sort of stopped them. Like we've made too much sense or something, so they got to like jump into the next thing. And so you missed two other. It's okay though. That was a really good collage that you did. But in the part where
I had to cut through it. There was 2 hours, so I didn't have enough time to go through the whole thing.
But the part where they're all like, banding like brothers to take their fucking photo shoot bullshit. At that point, one of them asked who Betty Baker was, whatever. Camilla, and when he figured out who it was, Camilla ended up, because he wanted to know what was done inside. And Camilla said, well, I said it was an anti-bullying movement, like it's an anti-bullying initiative. And then he's like, well, what did they talk about? Whatever. And Camilla's like, they talked about families and how families can look different. You can have two mothers, you can have two fathers, you can have a chosen family. And he's like, you can't have two mothers. They're not your parents. I said, what are you even talking? And he goes, how can they be your parents? And Camilla looks at him. She's like, adoption. Like I should link my live. And so
no. You give me the time index. We'll make a clip specifically of Camilla's schooling.
I put it out because somebody tried to lie saying that my daughter was not even inside the show. So I put the clip out there responding saying, well, how did my daughter know any of this then? And so, but then, so that's whatever.
Camilla's seen a lot of shows.
Yeah. And so, but she's talking specifically about this one. And then, so this guy tries to say that, no, you cannot have two mothers or two fathers. They're not their child. And Camilla's like, I said, well, whatever. We had a conversation. I'm like, how are you trying to say that you can't be parents? So we had that debate. So he's not okay with a child who's adopted by people, those are the parents. And he's kind of going back and forth. He's young. He's an idiot. He
absolutely is an idiot. I'm going to destroy him within 20. Yeah, I destroy him within 20 seconds. In regards to, you're absolutely right. Adoption is one option, and Camilla definitely nailed it with that one. To add to it, adoption, surrogacy, and even with surrogacy, like, oh, that's not natural, real. I'm like, all right, fine. The modern marriage right now goes in, at least gets divorced and gets remarried. That second husband is probably not the father of the kids, or the mother's not father of the kids, and therefore it is just as illegitimate as you view a same-sex couple.
100%.
So where are you going with this?
Same-sex couples, it could be, one of them can be the biological parent.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lesbian friend who had the in vitro or whatever, and she
in vitro surrogacy, anything else? Yeah. Absolutely.
So anyway, but that's even irrelevant. And then Nick has a hothead, and remember we were talking about Josh being like composed and saying all the stuff, and they'll break at some point. Well, Nick breaks, and so he went on to use the other F word against one of the defenders, just for being close and having the flag. But he's trying to say, oh, that guy who's rubbing against you is watch out for that F word or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, excuse me? What did you just say? And he's like, oh, I said,
I caught part. Yeah, I caught part of it when I was going through the clips. I'm like, well, I can't put that on there.
So he's a homophobe. It's okay. So that's the other thing. So now we've got, at a drag story time, we have.
Tell me you're shocked.
I'm not shocked, but my point is like, we're seeing all of it. Like, it doesn't stop at drag. It doesn't stop at trans. Now he's bringing out his homophobia. No problem. He's cool with it. And then they start bringing up that stupid idiot that dresses like a fox. Starts talking about
Drake. What's his face there?
East something, whatever. Whoever. Like, he's just an idiot.
Yeah, Drake Eastwood, I think, yeah.
He started talking about, because I brought up I don't know. We were talking about religion and I'm just throwing shit. And then he says, how many children did you sacrifice? How many abortions did you have? If I have an abortion or not. Are you seriously calling abortion sacrifice? It is, and it's murder and blah, blah, blah. So I look at Daxton and I'm like, does he go to your church? Everybody's included in my church. Everybody can come to my church or our church or whatever. I said, okay.
Not the question you asked.
Is this the shit that you teach at your church? She goes, what? That abortion is murder? It is murder. Yes. Abortion is murder. And that's what I don't remember how she put it. It's something to the effect of that's what they preach or whatever it is. And so I'm like, yeah. And this is why we need to start defunding the church. Fuck that. They pay taxes.
Yeah. No. Sorry.
Bullshit.
It's not defunding the church.
I know.
It's taxing the church.
I know. It's taxing the church, but it's the same damn thing.
Yeah. No, we should tax
having
the
a
fuck out of
tax
them.
break means that you have so much more disposable income. So essentially,
Absolutely.
you're defunding that fucking bullshit when you start taxing them, and they should be taxed. Every single yes, I am Muslim. Yes, churches can do good things. Mosques can do good things. The temples can do good things. All of these places can. Don't care. Tax them. You
Absolutely
don't get to have a political opinion about something and push that political opinion and not pay taxes. That's what I say.
Absolutely agree. I mean, there's still yeah. I mean, I totally believe in regards to, you know what, tax the fucking church, especially now. It always has been a very profitable business. And it's an incredible product they sell because they don't have to guarantee it to work. They don't have to guarantee anything. It is absolutely snake oil. I can tell you anything you want. And I mean, we've seen this even with like the Doom Prophecy guys. Oh, the end is going to world and insert whatever date you want now. And then date occurs like, oh, well, but prophecy wasn't clear. It's definitely this other date. Send me money till then. Yeah, okay. Although the atheist version of that, which is, oh yeah, you guys are going to die there. All right, give us money. We'll take care of your pets because, you know, we're still going to be here stuck in there and you're going to be off to a better place. Right. So yeah, just give us your money for that date. Cool. That's the only grift I got to agree with. I'm like, hey, you're being an idiot. But anywho, these guys are right now using religion any way they want. Then you know what? It's just a grift. Let's tax the shit out of them. But let's also look at this particular event a little bit larger. So while I wasn't there, I was able to keep an eye on regards to what's going on. Try to keep sort of an active view as to what's going on. But there's something I want to sort of illustrate and underscore a little bit more. So aside from Save Canada was there, we also had this individual here. This individual and all his friends, plus the Save Canada and all their friends.
You have a picture of him standing alone, and you said all his friends. I mean, it's funny.
It's true. It does. You know, he did. Well, the last time he was there, he was on his own. But you're right. He has
no fucking friends. He's a useful idiot, is what he is. He's a useful. He's a Nazi useful idiot. How do I put that? Which word goes first? He's a useful Nazi idiot. I don't know. Which order, whatever order you want. You have no friends, Kevin Goudreau, if you're watching this. You're a fucking loser. Nazi piece of shit.
So Deana being subtle and demure as usual.
Very to the point. If I was a pie, I'd be in your face.
But so on the specific in regards to this event and just him, yes. But the totality of the whole thing, I'm like, he's still a piece in regards to normalizing what he is in this space. And that's my issue.
Yeah.
He's
100%.
He's still a Nazi. He's still a Nazi that has this event compared to the previous event had more Nazis. And I'm not talking just about people who are comfortable being standing next to Nazis. No. Some of these guys, like I believe shirtless guy included, were actually with him, like deep down, like, no, everything you stand for is what we are.
Yeah. Full on conversations. You'll see it in my live stream. They're fucking all chit chatty, all happy go lucky together. Like it's insane. And it goes even further because people who claim to be on the left, they're not. And then they call themselves moderates and all this other I hate when people call themselves moderates. You don't get to fucking decide if you're a moderate, you idiot. Like, don't call yourself a goddamn moderate. But these people who claim that they are moderates or on the left, in my Twitter comments, are actually trying to like discount the fact that Goudreau is a Nazi. Like,
yeah.
It was so ridiculous, like glossing over it, brushing over it. Holy shit. Is that even for real? Like, holy shit. It's a fucking Nazi, people.
No, you're absolutely right.
It's unbelievable to see this in real time. It's absolutely horrendously unbelievable. And then remember the last week we saw this, we talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Like Christine and Dacey and like these fucking idiots are just totally shooting the shit with Nazis. People yelling and screaming they're going to decapitate people and all this other stuff. And they're just like, and then you want to yell in the next breath that your grandfather fought the Nazis. Okay.
So
clearly
in no way am I defending. I'm not defending Christine and Dacey. I'm just acknowledging the fact that they're just not very bright. And
they're smart enough to know how you deal with Nazis.
No, they're smart enough that they should know. I don't think they're smart enough to know.
No, I think they're smart enough that they know. They just hate a group of people more than they hate the Nazis. That's how I see it.
Okay.
They know. They fucking know. They know. They're good with the Nazis' feelings and whatever. Right now, they have a mission to hate on people, and everyone is welcome. It was the same as the convoy. Everyone is welcome. And the mere fact that these Nazis are here now with these convoy people tells us that they were there all along. And so when people try to say that at the convoy there were no Nazis or any of that stuff, I call bullshit.
Yeah. I just want to quote Mike from Canada, and because that's kind of where I'm kind of going with this one, which is like they very much view the enemy, my enemy is my friend, regardless what it is, which goes exactly with what you're saying, which is I think they're not smart enough to figure out what they're doing is wrong, while you're like, no, they just see their friend, because both of us see the same person as a problem, being, Justin Trudeau or Drag Storytime, because that's what they were told. So therefore they're going to the Nazis because, yeah, it's a comfortable thing because these guys are both hating, but therefore we must be friends. As we saw in the video from last episode where we were talking about Toronto. I'm like, yeah, you guys are willing and quick to jump to that.
And then try to walk it back and pretend you like whatever.
I never stand with a Nazi, but you did.
Yeah, you totally did.
An hour or two.
Yeah.
Like there you are.
And you knew it was White Lives Matter, and you knew all this other stuff. Like, it's it's gross, but it is what it is. So we know who they are.
Yeah.
We know who every single one of these each one of these players are, and they can try to talk around it, and it's interesting to have these conversations on Twitter so other people can reveal themselves too, who try to pretend that they're moderates, or it was actually on the Spaces. Sorry, it was on the Spaces where these people. Well, no, it was on my Twitter as well, but it was on the Spaces where this one guy just totally brushes over it, saying, "No, I just think he's a crazy, lonely guy or something." Okay, yeah, he's that too. Totally that too. But it doesn't mean he's not a Nazi. Like, and you don't get to say that he's not. Like, we fucking follow this guy. Like, we know what he says. We know what he does. You think he's just some dude with a swastika on his chest. That's the best way to describe him to people who try to say, well, we don't see any Nazis. Okay, well, this guy just needs to take off his shirt. What more do you need to see? But now you're trying to rationalize the fact that it's just some dude who got, branded with a fucking swastika.
I mean, there's a few people, like, I'm like, all right, certain people I can see that you don't quite know who it is. But if we've repeatedly told you the person's name and being a Nazi, and somebody like, for example, Kevin Goudreau. All right, if you don't know who Kevin Goudreau is initially off the bat, fine. Yeah. I'll give you that. That one instance, especially the first time we saw him, he was at Peterborough. He was wearing a shirt, tie, and sweater, the whole kind of weird, kind of like a weird kind of middle-aged guy you don't want near kids in general.
Look at the flag he's flying.
He wasn't flying a flag. He was flying a very specific thing, and unless you Googled up and you would have matched up with the Australia event, yeah, fine. This particular flag, yes. And if you have not figured out his name and everything else about him at this point, I'm like, all right.
Oh, no. We don't get to... Chris, Dacey, Christine, they're fucking watching right now. They were watching every time we brought up Kevin Goudreau. You guys know who Kevin Goudreau is. And now you really know who Kevin Goudreau is.
Yeah. But again, Kevin Goudreau...
Gus, whatever stuff is so fucking the fuck.
Yeah, Gus Stefanis, I think it is, and Kevin Goudreau. Yes, you're right. But no, but for Chris and Christine, fuck that. They're at a group. They're there, and to Dacey, hey, we're White Lives Matter Toronto. You don't need us.
Oh, it's hard to tell who's friend and foe.
White Lives Matter Toronto is registering as a friend to you at this point. White Lives Matter Toronto.
You got a friend in me. You're white and I'm white, and we hate everyone else. So you got a friend in me. Do. So, you're empty.
Yeah, I know I am empty.
Service, please.
Service, please, yeah.
Service. Hey, listen, on my way back from Peterborough. Coolest shit ever. You guys ready for this fun story?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm heading back from Peterborough, and all of a sudden, we're probably about an hour away from home. And then all of a sudden, this huge pack of women on motorcycles is right
we want to
in
get
front
to
of
that.
me. Is that okay? Can we jump to that?
Well, we can end here, which is, I want to end with, just before we do that, which is, here's Betty, there's Camilla.
Oh, Betty was beautiful.
Oh, she always is.
I know. I definitely know that. Her makeup was stunning. Like, I don't even know. That's art. It is like, you are an artist. Putting on makeup, being a makeup artist is art. And Betty does a wonderful job. And unfortunately, like, I love this picture. Unfortunately, my camera is not very good high def. If you just saw, like, just the... it was awesome. She looked great.
It is. Well,
she
you
does
can't.
her own makeup. She makes her own clothes. Like,
Yeah, I saw your stream and whatnot. We need to talk about improving that, and I have some ideas, and we're gonna work on that.
yep.
But yes,
Better cameras.
continuing in regards to your trip.
Okay. So then all of a sudden there's like, 20 maybe women in front, a couple of cars in front of me, and I'm on Highway 7. So I'm like, please, please, please be going my way. Please, please be heading to Ottawa. And I was able to get in front of a couple of cars to be right behind those women. And so I kept my distance, obviously, because I want, safe driving for people on motorcycles. That was the other reason why I wanted to be there. And then, there's this turn, and all of a sudden they all start turning, and I'm like, no, because that's not the way I'm going. But 4 of them still kept going straight, and I'm like, please stop somewhere, please stop. And sure enough, we get into a town, and they all turn left, and I just followed right behind them, and we stopped in at a McDonald's, and I just jumped out of my car and I introduced myself, and I started talking to them because I remember at our last conversation, we brought up the fact that a member of a biker club or something was going out and protecting drag story time. And so, and as somebody else had brought up to me a while back to approach a female bike group to speak to them, and I never did. I hadn't reached out to them yet, so I was hoping this was them. And so I asked them if they were trans inclusive, and they said they absolutely are. They're also this group that's together. At that point, they're together, but they're apolitical, so they don't do anything, as the group is called. But they do get involved as their own people, right? You can be part of a group, but you're not representing the group when you come out to these things. So I told them all about what was coming up. And that we needed lots of people to come out. And they said, Sister P. You need to talk to Sister P. I'm like, okay. So one of them...
Who's Sister Pete?
Sister P. P.
That'd be Sister P. That would be her.
Sister P. But I didn't know who Sister P was. And so one of them took my phone number and said that they would get it to Sister P. And then sure enough, the next day, Sister P is all over the news. Sister P is representing and feels like she needs to be there for drag story time out in Southern Ontario. And so I was like, that must be Sister P. And Joe even sends me a DM and he's like, I think this is Sister P. And I'm like, I think so too. The next day, my phone rings and I see the name, Patricia Jin, and I'm like, well, hello. And we had the most fabulous conversation. We spoke for about 45 minutes. And she's going to help me get the message out there to the group so that we can have hopefully even more people come and turn out. Like, you guys don't realize right now I am building or trying to build an army. Like, we need every single person to come out. She's doing her thing out there. She's fabulous. She's wonderful to talk to. I told her, listen, I just want you to know that I'm not your usual, like, just stand there activist. I'm like loud, obnoxious, and I swear. She goes, oh, we're just going to get along real well. I said, well, I'm going to give you another thing. I just want you to know I get a lot of flack because I have my daughter there and I swear like crazy. And, if you did have a problem with it, I don't care. And she's like, no, I don't know. I think she said it was like great that I'm teaching my daughter social justice and how to be strong, whatever. So that was awesome. And so we have some great things happening out in Southern Ontario with defenders coming out. Hopefully we're going to have lots of people come out in Ottawa for this event that's coming up. And yeah, I think everybody should be doing this. I was in Starbucks and I saw a group of young people who I just approached and said, "Hey, are you guys trans inclusive?" And they're like, "Yes." I said, "Well, I want to tell you about something that's coming up that's really important that we really need you to come out to." So I'm talking to everybody, whether I know them or not. And it's not because this will only get us so far, right? We're doing our thing. We have certain people who are putting eyes on this thing. I am talking to everybody. Everybody. Managers of stores, putting stuff up in their staff rooms. We're going to fucking outnumber the shit out of these people. I am telling you right now.
We got a tough summer coming up. We need everybody.
We need everybody. And we need these people to see what's happening and to get involved. You know, people don't know who Billboard Chris is, right? And so they don't realize how severe and how absolutely necessary it is that we get a fucking giant ass turnout on June 9th. I am literally, like, this guy has got to fucking get it. Yep. And that is that's my mission right now. Every day, talking to people.
It's our mission. So there's two things here that I want to put out. One, people don't know who he is. This is where we call on to the people, TikTok, Twitter, everything else, who are social media, who got the audience, whatnot. Educate these people.
Start doing posts on Billboard Chris. People need to know how vile and disgusting this guy is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I sent her an article from Canadian Anti-Hate Network. They did a fantastic article on Billboard Chris. Yeah. You just have to Google his name and you're going to see how terribly vile this piece of shit is.
So get that message out. Get people educated. Get people to understand. 2, help inspire people. Get them to show up to the events. Get them to join up with us or to other events, local, whatever. Get people used to coming out.
Yep.
And the more we start getting this into habit and whatnot, the more we can start getting a larger group to when we get to larger events, we can call on the people and say, hey, we need more people here because this is a big event.
Yeah.
We'll have the numbers.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Oh, and I'm talking to the housing co-ops. Like all my connections with how, and you don't want to fuck with housing co-ops. We're grassroots bitches. Like,
it's true. That's absolutely true.
I'm praying, if that's, whatever.
Yeah.
That people are going to see how serious it is, and they're gonna come out. So I'm not promising anything. I'm just saying I'm talking to everybody. I'm educating as many people as I can.
That's absolutely excellent. And again, I'm reaching out too.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna end this up now. Because we're coming up to the time. So again, don't forget Friday night. You can reach us at 9:00 on Spaces. So come join us on Twitter. It is a fun event, and it is an event for you guys. Please come out and talk to us. Tonight, we're going to do a little bit special. We're also going to do a raid tonight. So as soon as our video ends, we are going to raid our friend, my homie Tutaro, Danny. So again, everybody, good night and enjoy our little entertainment for the evening.
Good night.
So what's happening, Chris?
Breaking news, Chris Barber, CBC, just pleads guilty to whatever the hell I didn't plead guilty to. Their misinformation campaign is unbloody believable.
CBC,
you should be like, Glenn McGregor should work for CBC.
Well, I've been with him all day. He hasn't pled guilty to shit.
I pled not guilty this morning. Apparently their earplugs are working too good.